That's it. So welcome to the masterclass. I just played a song of mine. I'm from Belgium, so it's going to be English. Somebody will understand, or maybe it will be translated later on. Anyway, so if I play guitar, I'd like to see that in 4 different categories of techniques, which is legato playing, which is alternate picking for me, which is tapping, and which is sweep picking. So let's talk about those 4. That will be enough for the 10 minutes we have. A thing that I used to do a lot is, I still do a lot, is a form of 6 notes. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you know, which is a shape. It goes a little bit like this. And see this form. I play that legato, means without this pick it goes like this. See? Now I've been doing that so long that it's been something that's natural. So I can talk through that and play that up speed like this. And still normal, you know? Because I did it like a million times. It's a machine. Once that's a form of 6. So for me in music it's very important to have, everybody can count to 2, 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. That's the only thing, 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3. Because 4 is 2 times 2, 5 is 2 and 3, 6 is 2 times 3, or 3 times 2, 7, you know, blah, blah, blah. Huh? So if we take this shape again, it's hammer-ons and pull-offs. It goes like this. The first one is a pull-off with my pinky. This finger goes like pull-off, hammer-on, hammer-on, pull-off, pull-off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's one shape. Now if we go diatonical on the guitar neck, let's take for instance a scale with no sharps and no flats, like Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Si, Do, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, you know? It goes like this, from 3 notes a string. That's what I do a lot, 3 notes a strings, and it goes like this. Nice phone. So if I take all the shapes, I see my guitar as not really in boxes, not like a pentatonical scale is in the 5th position for A minor. I see it starts here and stops here, or it starts here and stops there. You know, this is one thing. And this is actually the notes you need to learn to do that. It's not too difficult, but yet it needs some memory, some brain training. It goes like this. This is the first one. You see? And like this, there is 7 different shapes. If I speed that up, it goes like this. See? The second one will be like this. If I speed that up, you see? The third one is this. If I speed that up, it goes like this. 4th one, 5th one, 6th, and then 7, something like that. Anyway, so to memorize that, it's you know, it doesn't go like a bomb, but there is some tricks. Like an octave, for instance, is like a distance of 8 notes. If I find this note, I automatically know this one, and I know this one. This means if I know this, I automatically know this, and this. You see? So this means this one is this one, and this one. See? That's like actually that. So this means if I do this, I know. You see, and this part is a part of the 3rd scale that I played here. This is a part of the 2nd scale that I played, and this is just the 1st one. So this it helps you a little bit to memorize that. But anyway, talking about those legato techniques, I'm going to show you a few exercises that I use a lot. Which is, for instance, yeah, let's take this one. It's a sliding technique. So if I go from this shape, I go back, and then I slide with the first finger and put these ones there. See? So I go like, once again, all hammer-ons and pull-offs. The thing that I do here is just mute my strings. So I don't want my strings to sound all together. If I go like this, see? It sounds horrible. So I need to mute the strings that I don't need, you know? And anyway, it goes like this. That. to in the end, you can speed that up really fast. So a good exercise to do that is if you start on the E note, then the next string on the B note, same shape. Then back to the E note on the following string, same shape, and on the last string on the E string on the B note, the same shape again. Makes it sound a little bit more melodic, let's say. You know, it's more like a musical sounding exercise than just a little phrase. This goes like this slowly. Okay, and I stop here, start there, exact octave. You know, 2 octaves anyway. I try to make every note that I play the same length, so it's not really like. I try to make like I said at the beginning, for 6, that's for 8, you know. It goes like this. If I speed it up a little, you can make a tremendous speed with that technique. If I just focus on the thinnest string, this last shape is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, yeah, and I go back. Make it in 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know, it goes. Practice that for like a few hours a day, and it will be beneficial. Same thing with a different shape. You know, it keeps on going like that. Now, a little exercise that I do a lot is I'm going to jump to a pentatonical scale in A. You know. We go here. Everybody knows this shape, probably, you know. That. Now I take a little part of that because bends is something that's very important. A bend, you know. You can. This note is the same one as this one, but you see, sometimes the note rings out more fat if I touch some other strings. You know, like I do like a ring. Now what I just did was a mixture of major and minor, but I use my this finger a lot too to go like this. You see, and then the blue note is a very nice note to play in that. Same exercise, legato playing. Very good exercise for, you know, actually in the hand, the anatomical part of the hand is like this is a muscle, this is a muscle, and these two are one. This is a muscle, this is a muscle, of course. It's a finger. It's a muscle in the finger, you know, and they grow together in the hand. That's why it's so difficult to move this finger without getting this one coming down. So this one is a very good exercise for that. It's actually, if you would see that as a scale, it would be like A minor, Dorian, with a flat 5, you know? That. Now, because we only have not too much time, I go like speed, I know, I talk, so you can re-look, I guess, you can rewind it and rewind it again and again. So let's skip, let's go to another exercise. Maybe just one more thing on the legato playing is another thing in octaves. I think a lot in octaves. If I, for instance, have this, same shape as we did here, the 6 shape, remember? Right? And then I slide there, and then on the following string I do the 6 shape again. And then I take that in an octave, so it's here, and it's here. Right? So I go, it's here, and it's here. And this one is here, and here. So if I put that all together, it sounds like this. Notice this hand just turns slightly over the strings to mute everything without ringing together. So that. Now let's change to alternate picking, which is a completely different technique. With the legato playing, I didn't use this this pick, you know, just to touch the first string, but the rest I didn't use. Now, if I use alternate picking, it will mean like I use every note that I play will be attacked by this pick here. So it goes like in the beginning it's you know, 1 2 3 4 5 6. If I do that in a diatonical shape, for instance, I go like, you see, this kind of machine. It's more like something. It turns out into machinery. You know, it has to be. How can I say that? Like a natural feeling when you do that. You can practice that on a string without a note. You know, like that kind of note, that kind of motion. The very good thing is to practice that with a metronome, with a machine. You know, like tack, tack. I used to do that with a very old machine. I had to turn on the machine and it goes like tack, tack, tack. Nowadays we have computer. We're like tack, 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 tack. It's very important. So it makes a rhythm. Like the machine grows in yourself. It's very important. So if I do, for instance, an example, I'll slow it down later, is just a diatonical shape of E minor, like, you know, old school style. That. If I speed that up, it goes like that. You see, but it's still the sixth sense that I get. This one is a very relaxed hand. I see a lot of guitar players doing that from the shoulder and like this. Just easy motion, you know, easy motion. Listen, the less exercise, the less economy, you know. So that's that alternate picking. We don't have too much stuff. I want to do four techniques. So the third one that I want to explain is the one that I use a lot. Is it looks difficult, but it's actually easy. Is the tapping of the right hand, which means my palm of my hand is muting all the strings that I don't use. So if I play on the thinnest string, and I would be like an A minor arpeggio kind of shape, which would be like this one. That one, you see? What I do with my right hand is I just put it here, mute all the strings that I don't need. That's the only thing that I do. I just, after you, of course you can't mute the thinnest string because that's the one you're doing the note sound. But so it sounds like, you see, the same thing as a six shape. 1 2 3 4 5 6. 1 2 3 4 5 6. 1 2 3 4 5 6. 1. Same thing, you can speed that up really fast. You know? You can add some notes. Make it an 8 shape. Just 1 2 3. 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. Right? Make a little nice exercise if I go. This is E major, this is E minor, then go just down. F, A, with this finger here in shapes of 6, it goes like this, you know. So first 1 2 3 4 5 6. 1 2 3 4 5 6. 1 2 3 4 5 6. 1 2 3 4 5 6. 1 2 3 4 5 6. 1 2 3. If I speed that up, use a little walla. Do that again. Change the notes. That kind of stuff. Now, I don't know if how much time we have left, but whoops, what was that? So this is very unprofessional, but then again, fixed like that. String skipping, the last thing, the sweep picking, the last thing that I want to talk about is a technique that is actually is more arpeggio based. Like if I play the notes, see what I'm doing here is I'm just going down. I take this right hand, goes instead of alternate picking, it goes in one direction. It goes, falls down, and it comes up again. See? Like that kind of thing. Now, if you do that on 6 strings or on 5 strings or on 4 strings, it's kind of difficult because you need to try to practice that on 2 strings to start with. And then it's a very beneficial exercise. If I, for instance, go for, you see, I'm barring my finger, the first finger here, and then this. Same as we did before. I go like, but then, so you hear the first note that I'm playing is slightly muted, but it's still there. It's not this, and it's not this. It's slightly muted, you know. And then it falls. Just this pick falls just down. Hammer on, pull off. You know, if I go for a diatonical exercise, A minor, for instance, G, F, A. Now that is a 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4, which is 16. I can go 16. I can do in 6 6 and 4, for instance. 6 and 6 is 12, and 4 is 16 again. So then we get this, and then it sounds kind of interesting. It goes like. See, it makes it all sound a little more different. Now the coolest thing is the mixture of all these different techniques that I said, you know. It's, for instance, if I have this A minor Dorian flat 5 scale, the one that was the exercise for these 2 fingers, you know, this one, that part. If I put, there's an exercise I use, a technique that I use kind of a lot, this is the tapping with that together. It goes like, see? If I slow that down, it goes. So this is, then the first attack with this finger, then I put this one. Same thing for the following string. So. Kind of rolls out pretty cool. There's a million of exercises, of course, so we can keep on going. Like the string skipping thing, for instance. What I do a lot too is something that in the beginning was kind of strange to do. I put this hand and put it here to mute my strings. I remember the first time when I was in the studio, like playing a real solo, I had this this cord around here to mute my strings, you know, so they didn't sound. But when you're playing live, there's no time to be playing electric check and then put the cord in and keep on playing it. So the only way to do that is take this hand and put it here. The only difficulty then is you have to see your fingers here. So this one you can't see your fingers, like it doesn't work. And this one doesn't work either. If you're playing live and your guitarist here, you can't do that. But once you get this shape, it's pretty cool. If I, for instance, I go like this, that kind of shape, same. I mute my strings and go like. See? Something worth investigating. Well, I guess we're there. 15 minutes have passed, unfortunately. Maybe something about chords, and because everybody that tries to play fast and all your shredding metal hits, all those very important. This chord, because there is a lot more to do with C. With for instance, a C power chord, which would be like. You know? This chord, like would be like a C major, would be like, same thing like this. Yeah? Then we have major 7, which is like this. See, a 7, C7, would be that, C minor 7. It's just a finger, just one finger difference every time. C minor 7, flat 5. And C diminished. All these chords have a different shape, a different scale, you know? So that's a very important to work on that. If I have a C major 7, I could turn it into a C major 9. like that. Makes it sound more open. Same thing as C major 7 is here. Now, if I have inversions of that chord, would be like a C major 7. This would be like other forms of the C major 7 could be like this one. Same 4 notes in a different shape. Same 4 notes in a different shape, in a different shape, in a different shape, in a different shape, in a different shape. Very nice one. In a different shape. In a different shape. In a different shape. Oh, shut up. In a different shape. In a different shape. In a different shape. See, it's only 4 notes. So if you can see all those different shapes of the chords on your guitar neck, the playing makes it a lot easier. If I think in a minor scale and I don't really know which scale it is, but I know it's minor, for instance, if it's A, I go think pentatonic to start with first, and then I know the A minor chord is here, so I know this part will fit also. And then it's the question whether it's Aeolian or whether it's Dorian, you know? If it's Dorian, I know that. When it's Aeolian, I know that. It all fits together. And then there is another thing, it's like the last thing maybe, is distortion chords or distorted chords. If you have how can you play all those major 7 shapes in a sound that is with a lot of distortion still definable? If I would have this shape and I put on a lot of distortion, it doesn't sound good. You know? It's like a big blur. No. So what I do is I take a bass note and I just take these 3 notes. And then it goes. It's actually the same thing with the Burn song, the one that I played before for the video there. It was the same chords. It starts off with a G major 7. So this is like a G major 7. This would be like a B flat major something chord, you know? Or you could see that as a C sus with a B flat in the bass, you know? And then it goes to F major, which I changed the second time to this F major shape. Brings out nice in this shape, you know? And then maybe the last thing I want to do, I keep on talking now.
Okay.
We get like hours, yeah?
It's good. It's interesting, I think it will be interesting for our auditory.
Yeah?
Yes.
Good. All right. Is it done? Maybe one more?